In a city where people hurried past one another without eye contact, where silence was louder than conversation and loneliness hid behind busy streets, there lived a man named Elias Warren, an ordinary man with an extraordinary habit of kindness, though no one ever noticed it at first. Elias was not rich, famous, or powerful. He worked a small night shift job at a grocery warehouse, stacking boxes under flickering lights, earning just enough to survive. But what set him apart was something money could never buy: a heart that refused to harden despite years of disappointment, loss, and neglect. Every morning after work, while the city was still half asleep, Elias would stop at the same roadside cafe, not to buy coffee for himself, but to quietly pay for one extra cup. The owner never asked why, and Elias never explained. Later that morning, a tired nurse, a struggling student, or a homeless man would receive that cup with surprise, never knowing the name of the man who paid for it. And Elias liked it that way, because to him kindness was not about recognition, it was about relief, about making someone's heavy day just a little lighter. Years earlier Elias had lost his mother, a woman who taught him that kindness did not need an audience. She used to say that the world changes not through loud heroes but through quiet hearts that refuse to give up. Those words stayed with him when his life fell apart, when his father abandoned the family, when bills piled up, when friends disappeared, when dreams slowly faded into survival. Yet Elias chose kindness not because life was kind to him, but because it wasn't. One rainy evening, on his way home, Elias noticed a young boy sitting on the steps of an apartment building, soaked, shivering, and crying silently. People passed by assuming someone else would help, but Elias stopped. He took off his own jacket and placed it around the boy's shoulders, sat beside him without asking questions, and waited. Minutes passed before the boy spoke. His mother worked double shifts. He was alone most nights, scared of the dark and the silence. Elias listened, not interrupting, not offering solutions, just listening, and that simple act changed something in the boy. Because sometimes kindness is not fixing problems, it is making someone feel less alone in them. Weeks later Elias began leaving small notes in random places, inside library books, on bus seats, near ATM machines, notes that said things like, "You matter more than you think," or "Don't give up yet," or "Someone believes in you." He never stayed to see who found them, but those notes found their way into broken hearts. A woman on the edge of quitting life found one in a hospital waiting room. A man ready to walk away from his family found one on a bus ride home. A student drowning in failure found one inside a borrowed book. None of them knew Elias, yet all of them felt seen. Slowly, quietly, kindness began to ripple outward. People who received kindness began passing it on. The nurse bought food for a stranger. The student tutored a classmate for free. The boy on the steps began helping his neighbors with groceries. The city did not change overnight, but something softened. One winter night Elias collapsed at work from exhaustion. Months of overwork and skipped meals caught up to him. When he woke up in the hospital, he expected emptiness, but instead he found the room full. The cafe owner, the nurse, the young boy now older and braver, the woman from the waiting room, all standing there with tears and gratitude. Elias was confused until they explained how his small unseen actions had saved them in ways he never imagined. How a cup of coffee, a jacket, a note, a moment of listening had stopped them from giving up. And in that moment Elias finally understood something powerful. Kindness does not return in the same form it is given. It returns multiplied, transformed, and perfectly timed. He realized that the world does not need perfect people. It needs persistent kindness, even when life is unfair, even when no one claps, even when hearts are tired. Elias returned to his simple life after recovery, still stacking boxes, still paying for extra coffee, still leaving notes, but now the city carried his kindness forward without him trying. Strangers helped strangers, silence softened, loneliness felt less heavy, and the lesson remained clear for anyone willing to listen. You do not need power to change the world. You do not need money to matter. You only need the courage to choose kindness again and again, especially when it is hardest. Beck.